all over again. And with truth in sentencing, just as an add-on, they don't get credit for the time they're out. So if I order 3 years extended supervision and someone's out for a year and they violate and they get sent back to prison for a year, they could get sent back to prison for the full 3 years of their extended supervision. They don't get credit for the time they were out. So they keep going back and forth and back and forth, and what was originally intended to be a 6-year sentence might wind up being an 8-year sentence, for example, which again hugely impacts the costs here. Very quickly, 2 other things. Lack of assessment. We, if you can believe it, in my opinion, have insufficient assessment throughout the system to determine the risks associated with individuals and the programming that's necessary. And I'm talking about from the beginning. Offenders should be assessed when they're arrested and placed in jail so we know where to place them properly. They should be screened and assessed so I know what to order for bond. I don't get any information other than argument from counsel about how to impose a bond. And if they don't give me correct or complete information, I could be releasing someone to the community who is a significant risk. That DA and that defense counsel need that information as well in order to plea bargain, which is what they're definitely going to be working on. And then I need it in order to sentence. And unless I have a felony offense where I have a pre-sentence investigative report, again, all I get is the argument of counsel or a joint recommendation and whatever questions I ask at a sentencing. And then that assessment can then be provided to the department who does their own assessment, but by that time they're sentenced and they're already in prison, and I may have ordered something that either is woefully inadequate or too punitive because I didn't have all the information that I needed. And finally, a lack of evaluation. And some of these are related to funding, definitely, but as you've heard before, we do not utilize evidence-based practices. And so until we had our sentencing commission, which is now defunct, I never even knew if my judge down the hall, what did they traditionally order for a 5th offense OWI? And what was ordered across the state? And how effective was that sentence? Was it incarceration or probation? Who recidivated? Who didn't? I had never got any of that information, and today I still don't. I've been on the bench 9 years. I see people cycling through, but I don't, other than anecdotal evidence, I don't know how effective my sentences and the programming orders I issue are. So those are my 3 obstacles, things that need, in my opinion, to be corrected.